Hello everyone, Rachel here, the Modern Shaman. Thanks for being with me for another YouTube Q&A video question of the week. As always, if you are new to this channel, I'm glad you're here. I hope that you will subscribe and hit the like button, share these videos with anyone that you feel like will resonate and bless. Also, if you haven't visited my website's themodernshaman.net. It is a great resource for all ways to connect with me, have sessions with me, or follow through my online teaching curriculum if you'd like to go deeper in your metaphysical awareness and abilities. I always feel like, I hope that you guys know, I just have this on my heart today. I hope that you all know that any way that you feel that your heart is leading you to remember who you are, to step into your sovereignty as a fully divine being, a multidimensional being, any way that that shows itself through any teaching, any teacher, any awareness, that is my way. I don't want you to feel like it has to be Rachel's way or Rachel's methods, or that there is one correct way. I hope that you feel that these are reminders, because that's how I created them to be. Even this video, it is a reminder to you. It is just like ringing a bell so that you recognize yourself. You recognize all the aspects in you that feel kind of triggered, that feel like they lean in, that feel like they resonate, where they say, yeah, that's true for me too. That's true for me. That's been my experience also. Not that's Rachel's experience, and so I will make that true for myself, right? Anyhow, I know that's a caveat, but it's always on my heart, especially when I am in a genre of teaching or put on some sort of platform to share. Yeah, so it is what it is. Okay, let me get on to the question y'all sent in for today. It says, Rachel, I love your videos. I watch them every week. I wanted to ask you about relationships. I noticed that it is so easy for me to fall in love, and I love very deeply. It is an all-encompassing and typically very blissful experience. However, all my relationships have been so horrible. They never seem to work out, and I don't know what it is that I'm doing wrong. How can such a loving experience go so wrong? Great question. I think everyone can relate to your question, so thank you for sending this in. Yes, love. Okay. Let me see if I can break this into a short video for you. First thing I will say is, as an individuated soul, as an individual expression of source, you having gone through what you've gone through, you carrying your past life lineage in through your soul and your experience, the first piece of advice I would give you is to heal your own trauma. Work on that as an individual. Go through your process of making yourself better. And you didn't really mention trauma, but you said something always goes horribly wrong. I don't know if that's abuse or whatever it may be, but we have our own individual cycles of trauma. We are a traumatized species. We just are. So you're not alone in that. We all have to work through our trauma. And if you're not doing that, you're not growing and evolving on a deeper level with the soul. So I would encourage you to do that. But everyone's trauma patterns and cycles are a little different. We come in with them, but we are, like I said, a traumatized species. We've been through so much brutality as a species over many millennia. We've been through catastrophic experiences of weather on this planet. It's been a rough go for our human species. And so we carry a lot of that ancient trauma in our DNA. So my first piece of advice to you would be to work on healing that. Work on your own healing process, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe that's through meditation, through counseling, through journaling, through service, to others, service to animals, service to the environment, practices that feel like they purify, ceremonial practices, all and any way that you feel like you are helping yourself to heal from your personal wounds, things that still cause difficulty in your own process. That means it doesn't have to do with the other person. Maybe they trigger it, but it's like a thorn in your side. You have difficulty with that issue, with jealousy, with greed, with judgment, with fear, with paranoia, whatever it may be for you, you know. So work on healing that. That will help in all areas of your relational capabilities, because these things are always triggered in relationships. So when you are working on that, you better your relationships, period. Second piece of advice I would give you is that to separate love from relationships. This is kind of what arranged marriages did back in the day, but essentially, love is its own thing. And it's not only found in relationships. Love is you being a loving person. Love is shared. When you are a loving person, you will love every single individual you get to know well enough. You will. That's why arranged marriages work sometimes, because over the longevity of that dedicated commitment, you learn to love them, because as a loving person, you find lovable qualities in other individuals. If you are a loving person, I will say that again, you will learn to love every individual that you spend quality time listening and spending time with. This is why when people go visit villains, in prison, or they're working on death row, they build relationships, because we are multifaceted people. We have vices and we have virtues, all of us, no matter where we are on the spectrum. So the ability to develop love in yourself, think of that as its own category. This is a beautiful thing. You will love many people if you are a loving person. Okay, now that is not necessarily romantic love. That is just being loving, all right? And you should seek to develop that in all your relationships, to just be a loving person, right? Be loving in your action and appreciate who that individual is. A lot of times that's when we say, I love that person. We are just appreciating the soul and that soul's expression. So these are beautiful things. Let that be its own independent aspect of you and of the other individuals that you are viewing and appreciating, right? This is different than a relationship. A relationship is a relating, right? So my second piece of advice to you would be a loving person, all right? And separate out love and relationship. Relationship is relating and doing what you're doing and having relatable tactics, having things that relate to one another and following those aspects of the self together, working side by side alongside one another, sharing similar values, sharing similar direction or pace with which you want to live your life, sharing similar lifestyles. So that would include spending, whether travel, or think things are important to you, the way that money is a big one in relationships. You cannot overlook that or minimize that and say like, oh, money doesn't matter. That's fine if both of you agree that money doesn't matter, but these things are part of the relating in relationship. So your values, maybe work is important to you, maybe family is more important to you than work, maybe travel, maybe material comfort and safety, whatever it may be to you. Those things need to be in alignment with a relating partner so that your relationship supports one another in what you want to do. My third piece of advice would be that do what you want to do in life. Know what it is that you have as your central purpose. Go after that. Start living the life you want to live. Do that, and then notice people that are doing the same. This is your natural partnership of working alongside someone in life that's supportive and going in the same direction. If one of you thinks that extravagant experience, like they want to have all these crazy experiences in life, so they're very open to new experiences, they're trying new things all the time, they're skydiving, they're going to ayahuasca retreats, they're going to nudist colonies just for the heck of it, they're trying all of this stuff, and the other person wants to focus on a very stable career. They want a W-2 that gives them a sense of my taxes are taken care of, my safety needs are met, and I am able to travel when I want, but I want to plan these experiences. These are two different views of life and values that may seem like, okay, when we talk and we're just getting to know each other and we both say we like to travel, we both like to travel, but these are two totally different lifestyle expressions. And they will start to grate on each other. They can support one another, but they need to be moving in the same direction in terms of value. So that third piece of advice would be to live the life like you want to live it. Start being who you want to be. Go after your purpose in life. Get those things set for yourself to where you can identify it, where you know who you are, you know where you're going. And even if those things change, that's fine. But it's clear that they're changing and this is the path, or maybe you're in a time of transition, but you're aware that you're in a time of transition, that this is not going to be forever for me, right? Get clarity on that and start living from your clear perspective of self, and then look for partnerships that are going in the same direction. That is the relationship component. So those are my little 3 pieces of advice for you in terms of love versus relationship. Heal your own trauma. Separate love and relationship. Of course they will be together because you're a loving person. Be a loving person, right? And then look for someone that you relate to, that you are walking alongside naturally in life. That third piece of advice is to essentially be the epitome of your best self. Do what you came here to do. Start walking the walk, right? Don't look for someone and then try to figure out what it is you want to do with your life later. Get that straight. Get yourself or your sense of self clear. And like I said, even if you don't know, get clarity that you don't know that right now. And you're working on that. Start looking for things and trying things out that feel like they may be a fit for you or they may not. There's clarity sometimes in trying things just to realize that they're not a fit for you right now, right? And then again, the partnership is someone that comes alongside you with morals that are similar, ethics that are similar, values in life, which is like what you feel like you are seeking or what you like prioritize in your life, lifestyle, and that includes money and finances and where you spend your money. And then that part of the relating will be supportive because this is what you're doing and this is what they're doing, and it will support one another in relationship. I hope that that is a blessing to you. And I hear your heart with that about loving deeply, right? There's no reason to swoon over the fact that you've fallen in love with someone. When you are a loving person, you will find things to love in individuals, and that's beautiful. That just means you're a loving person, right? Love is a flowing thing, flowing inside of you to anyone that comes in contact with you. When you are a loving person, it will flow out. Yeah. So be conscious of that and be conscientious. I'm sending you love right now as a loving person to another loving person. Blessings.